Boom! Hey guys, it is Alistar here with a very special video for you guys and girls. Today we are going through a very awesome pick that we have been covering in this channel since the very low levels. If you guys like these kinds of videos that are unfiltered, unscripted, and they keep the noise outside of the cryptocurrency market, then please consider subscribing to the channel and joining the other social medias, because I will be releasing different content on there to give you guys what you need to be very successful in the cryptocurrency space. So let's look at Curv Finance and what Curv Finance by far will do in the next few weeks, coming to that huge price discovery level. So if you guys are new here, my name is Alistar, 10 years in crypto. Hope you guys are having an amazing day. Now, CRV has been one that we have been trading ever since the 50-cent level at a low, since the bear market had still been enacted. Now, I remember doing this last year, in 2020 in March, and trading this from a position where I knew that this was going to take off and trading it around the 50-cent level. So we have covered this in previous videos, but to understand why this is so bullish, where it's going, etc., we are going in depth into the fundamentals, the technicals, as well as the wisdom of the past 10 years being in the cryptocurrency space, and understanding why people are so bullish on the Curv DAO token. The funny thing about this coin is that at the 50-cent level, again, I thought it was overpriced by far, but then you just compare them to ones that were coming up around the exact same time, like Cody Pay and Acro, for example, the ones that we have covered by far on this channel, and you'll see that they have very, very similar max supplies and circulating supplies. You guys see that? And because they are so huge, by far, it's very hard to see, being in the billions, that this could go to skyrocket heights until I started seeing how much news was coming out into this market about Curv DAO. Now, this is because they have created a platform for you guys and girls to switch your stablecoins and trade them amongst each other. And that is very, very huge, because we are coming into a position where we're going to need a new stablecoin to take over the fiat that is absolutely screwing up in the globalized world that we are in. The US dollar is pegged to every single currency, and we have very, very, very high volatility coming up because of how much money they are printing, and it is deflating the currency, making it worth less and less every single day. So how do we combat this? With stable coins by far. Not to mention, Bitcoin in general is absolutely something that changes day to day, moment to moment, and it is not the asset that we want it to be yet. It must be in a process of coming up to a price that stays stable for the extended period of time, especially since it is pegged to the US dollar as well, and a lot of people are trading this against the US dollar pairing. While this exists, it's very difficult for BTC in general to be pegged as the next global currency, and as you guys saw, there are other coins that can take this, but all of them have volatility as well, namely ones like XRP and RSR. So those ones are within the channel. If you guys and girls want to check those out, you guys can leave it in the comment section below of what you guys think will be the new currency for the world in the coming future. It's either XRP, RSR, Bitcoin, a different form of USD, or, as the news is printing out right now, a different point of a US dollar pegged Bitcoin, which is absolutely ridiculous from my perspective. The point of Bitcoin is to get away from the pegged to global currencies around the world, to getting a type of decentralized currency to use within the world. But that is not within our hands. Once again, this is to the big space, or the peak performance space, as I call it, as a whole. The wealthy will get the last say in this, and the ones in power. With that being said, what is most likely? You never really know. This is coming to a position where it is all down to the superpowers of the world to figure this out. But it is a huge problem with inflation being absolutely crazy, and we need a new deflation currency to take this over in the very near future. People are being widely affected by this. Widely. And I've said this in the previous video. You guys and girls can check out the XRP to $10 video. I've covered it in depth. Check that out. You guys won't regret it at all. Let's go on to the next part of this, and that is where Curv is very, very fundamentally bullish. So bullish, it's crazy. The difference between CodePay is specifically paying for a different form of payment in the DeFi space. It is very specific. Whereas something like the Curv DAO token swaps the stable coins that are within the cryptocurrency space, and it creates a ability for us to switch and swap them easily in this way, as you guys can see here. Now, it doesn't look the best by far. This is looking like a Windows XP type of if you guys are into Windows XP desktops, then please look no further than CurvFi. But it will at some point be able to upgrade, and that will be in the very near future. The great thing about this by far is your ability to connect the MetaMask wallet, the Trezor wallet, the Ledger wallet, and everything in between that are the main parts of secure wallets that we can use in the cryptocurrency space to change our stable coins. Now, what does this mean in the long run? This means we're able to trade versus the very volatile asset called Bitcoin. And Bitcoin being by far the main asset of the cryptocurrency space, and also the 60% dominance that we have by far. Now, you guys might notice something very, very, very bullish here. Very bullish. And that is the fact that it is a very, very low fee to transact that. And that is because stable coins as a whole try to keep their value at about $1. And as they keep that value at $1, it becomes easier and easier to be able to actually transact it, and a very, very low amount of transaction fee to transact that. So that is what it fundamentally is, and it's adding new things on the day to its tokenized asset called the Curv DAO token. Now, as we talked about before, this definitely has the fundamentals of the DeFi price type of price discovery price going in the very near future. As you guys can see, this actually went down from the near $17 mark. As you guys can see here, by far, once this has hit that mark of price discovery to the near $5 mark at the $4.80 mark and passes these resistance points in the macro time frame, you guys and girls can see it is very, very close to this and has been continuously during this time. All we need is a price resistance pass, a price level that is past previous price resistance 3 times over, and you can see this in price discovery absolutely hitting new levels to the 8 to 12 to the $17 level very, very quickly from that $5 mark when it's eventually surpasses it. Now, if you guys have been looking at the DeFi blueprint that I've been giving you guys on what has been 100% accurate prices, then you guys and girls will know this. This is going to the $3 to $5 mark, then the $5 to $7 mark to the $10 level. Then just before the $10 level, maybe retracing, etc., and going towards that $12 to $15 mark very, very quickly. And that's where we're going to hit that price discovery position where there is absolutely nothing standing in this way of going absolutely crazy. Now, if you have looked up different DAO tokens, you'll see by far that majority of them pass this level very, very easily to huge price discovery levels. Huge. So you guys got to understand that this is very, very bullish. And like I said, we were trading this since the very low levels of the 50-cent mark. And because this is being very, very awesome, you guys can see the all-time high was $60. $60. That is absolutely crazy. Now, the crazy thing about this more so is the fact that it doesn't actually show that on the DAO token price. Can you guys see that? It doesn't show it here because the hitting of the $60 price was met with huge lows very, very quickly that came down exponentially. And the last thing that the owners of this, which is Binance, wants to do is show that it has gone down so dramatically. Though it is very weird that they actually showed what the previous price history was for this, especially since, like I said, we were trading this since the 50-cent mark. Absolutely bullish price action by far, and after these hit, we could see some huge price discovery by far, which is why this is a very good midterm hold for you guys and girls going forward. Now, what level can we see it get to? I can see this going to very, very big highs in the very near future, and we could see this going back to the $20 or so level within the next few months, depending on if it passes these price resistance, and we see news that floods the market being very bullish on CRV as a new DeFi token that is a DAO and has yield farming behind it. And just people using the exchange in general. That is why people push this by far into price discovery, into new highs. So fundamentally in price discovery, this is absolutely undervalued like crazy. Now, the funny thing as well about this is understanding where it was at in the bull market versus the bear market. This high at $60 in 2020 of August was not a bull market high. I'm gonna say that again. This was not a bull market high. So if you are willing to let it go and do what it needs to do, then you could very, very much see it hitting this high again, possibly at the mark of the end of the bull run. And that is not a joke at all. In the same way, people are bearish on ontology for some weird reason, but it's because majority of the people are looking at what is happening now and they don't have patience. I traded ontology in the bear market, where it is very hard and it's cold and it's very hard to make 3% on your money in the bear market of crypto. I traded ontology at this point as well. People are really suggesting somehow that this cannot get to the $10 mark. That is crazy. Start to get into your head. There has never been more money in this market than right now. Never. Right? We have never had this amount of ability for things to absolutely skyrocket in the crypto market by far. There is enough to spike these up to the other levels. If you cannot understand that, understanding that we have $1 trillion market happening right now before the altcoin season is actually happening. 1.5 or so, which by the way, at the previous bull run, we had $800 billion to $1 trillion market at the previous high of the previous bull run, and we saw these kinds of levels. We saw that $10 level. We saw the all-time high level happen. It is absolutely crazy to me that people just can't understand it, which is why people like me are here to help you understand this. We just get the rewards and we just take the rewards and we give to the people in need, which by the way is most probably you, which is why I'm here telling you in advance to listen. But it's up to you. from a real perspective? Or do you just want to be bearish or bullish, right? Do you want to get so enamored in whether XRP is going up or not and just never gets anywhere in life because they're too busy talking? Your call. Hard, but real, right? This is how I am with the peak performance space. You guys and girls deserve the exact same amount. And please, leave a thumbs up if you guys respect the fact that I tell you guys like it is. Take that for what you will. Let's continue. Now, like I said before, this by far is undervalued like crazy, and when we see this go to these levels again, we can see a nice retracement and even higher levels dependent again on what Bitcoin does in this bull market and also what news is coming out for Bitcoin. It's not to say that it could take a few months for this price action to happen. No, you must be patient. Life-changing money doesn't happen overnight. It's absolutely crazy because even the best in this market cannot 100% predict this because it is a manipulated market. Okay, so unless you're doing the manipulation and you're willing to tell people, which most people aren't, actually 100% of the crypto space aren't, then you must listen to the people who are most knowledgeable and have the most wisdom in the space. Not just the people with the most followers, shilling coins because they're getting paid in the background. That is the truth. So, majority of the time, if somebody says do something, or a majority of people say do something, do the exact opposite of what they're saying. Okay? Especially if they have the most followers in the cryptocurrency space. That is how markets move. They buy fear and they sell greed. That is how this space works by far. So, can we see this going to the high levels? Again, it is a very, very difficult thing to understand where this is going to. But I can give you as much as possible in terms of the fundamentals before we go into the technicals of what is most likely to go on. So, this is a very high circulating supply and max supply, but in terms of this being on the very, very bullish types of exchanges, this is on pretty much all of them here. So Huobi, OKX, Binance, and there's others that you guys can actually see here that are the main ones. It's just it doesn't stand out as those main ones. The fact that it's on Coinbase Pro as well gives it a huge leg up in this market by far. A lot of people look to Coinbase for the ones that are most secure to go into. Hence the richest space going towards there for their Bitcoin, etc., because it has one of the lowest transaction fees and it is just the most widely used for Bitcoin. So, not only that, you guys can see it's on most of the exchanges by far, even Bittrex and Bithumb, especially the smaller ones that you guys can see, like Gemini, etc. Crypto.com. So, it's on all of the very, very top exchanges, which makes the liquidity very, very easy for this coin, and also the ability for people to trade this very simple as well. Which means with a technical analysis going on, we could see it going to higher highs in terms of that price discovery level, like I showed you. And again, this is never 100%, but you give it one form of news that absolutely spikes this up, and the point that it has very little standing in its way, 3 resistance levels standing in its way from that previous all-time high here, previous discovery level that you guys can actually see on this chart, means that this is the last resistance level by far, and the 4th resistance level, which is the last in terms of price discovery. So what does this mean? In comparison to the ones of old, the cryptocurrencies of old, the cryptocurrencies of yonder, no, the cryptocurrencies of old, you guys and girls can see this spiking up in price really, really easily to that previous all-time high level of that $60 mark, because there is nothing actually standing in the price discovery way. People can choose where this goes to from passing this level. Now, are we going to have a retrace at this level? Definitely. And you need to have the patience of a saint to be able to do this. Okay, so With that being said, let's go on to the technicals of this, and let's go to the main exchange in the world, Binance, to get this done. CRV, where can we see this going? And let's go straight in. So we'll go into the USD one, since it is most widely used by far in the cryptocurrency space, and let's see where the levels of now are past the actual bullish momentum that we've seen today. So it is a very nice upward momentum going on right there. However, as you guys can see here, it needs a very small retracement at that point to these previous levels of resistance and support. So we could see it coming back to this level, or even lower than this level, very, very quickly, because it needs to have a retracement before actually taking off again. As you guys can see as well, if this goes lower than this level and breaks down past this level, we could very easily see a type of head and shoulders price action happening there. Now, it's not exactly 100% exact, but if this goes past that price resistance and support level, then yes, we could see that coming to that head and shoulder type of level, coming down to these next resistance and support levels before taking off again. It really, really depends on where this goes from here at this retest. So be looking out for this on the smaller time frames for where this could go. Let's hope it doesn't get too low, or we'll see it at the lower levels of resistance and support past this level. That is at the $2.30 plus level, but that is why it is so important for you guys and girls to mid-term hold these at a certain point when the market is most bullish, and to buy in at the dips and not worry about the small drops downward. Like I said, it is very hard to have people who aren't in the trading group and try to give advice on this if it fully counts on Bitcoin and what Bitcoin is doing. If it counts fully on what Bitcoin is doing, then I cannot give you a very accurate representation. You have to look at the Bitcoin price, and I've given that to you guys and girls in the All-Star Crypto channel. But like I said, we can see it reaching the $6.90 point, then price discovery on Binance to the $23 level, before the actual average level of the all-time high at $60. Absolutely crazy price action that can come out of a $2 coin. Okay, that is pretty much it for this. Hope you guys took so much out of this, and if you did, please subscribe to this channel to make sure you guys are first to get this content before anybody else. Again, 10 years in crypto. Look at my actions, not my words, and subscribe to these other channels for different updates that I give you guys in this very, very, very bullish market coming up very, very soon. And I will catch you guys for the next one tomorrow.